The rain hammered the chapel roof like gunfire, each drop a reminder that nothing about this was real, except the way James's hand trembled in mine as the officiant asked if anyone objected. "I do," I whispered under my breath, not to the vows, but to the lie we'd built brick by brick, because loving him had always felt like enlisting in a war I couldn't win. And then, as the fake gold band slid onto my finger, his eyes met mine for the first time that day without armor, and I shattered, knowing I just signed up for the heartbreak of a lifetime. It started 2 years earlier, in the sticky heat of a San Diego summer, where the Pacific Ocean crashed against the cliffs like it was trying to wash away all the secrets we Marines and civilians kept buried. I was Alex Rivera, a 28-year-old graphic designer scraping by in a cramped Mission Beach apartment, the kind with peeling paint and a view of nothing but parking lots. I'd grown up in East LA, dodging gang tags and my dad's endless rants about real men, but I'd clawed my way to the coast chasing dreams of art school and anonymity. James Harlan crashed into my life like a rogue wave during a bonfire party on the beach, shirtless, laughing too loud, his buzzed blonde hair catching the firelight as he arm-wrestled some jarhead twice his size and won. He was 26 then, fresh out of boot camp at MCRD San Diego, all lean muscle and cocky grin, the kind of guy who made you believe in heroes from those old war movies. We'd met through mutual friends. My roommate's boyfriend was in his platoon, and by the end of that night we were trading stories over cheap beer, his knee brushing mine under the blanket of stars. James talked about enlisting to escape his small-town Indiana roots, where his preacher father still sent Bible verses via text every Sunday, condemning the sins of the city. I confessed my own ghosts. Coming out in high school, the fistfight with my uncle that left me with a scar above my eye. "Screw 'em all," he said, clinking his bottle against mine. "We're building our own squad here." From that night on, we were inseparable, weekend hikes in Torrey Pines, late-night tacos at Roberto's, him crashing on my couch after brutal PT sessions. He called me his civilian lifeline, the one guy who got the weight of the uniform without wearing it. But I was lying to myself even then. Every time he slung an arm around my shoulders, every shared glance that lingered too long, it wasn't just bromance. I loved him. The quiet way he'd hum Springsteen tunes while sketching deployment maps on napkins. The fierce protectiveness when drunks at the bar got rowdy. He was out to a few close friends, including me, but in the core it was don't ask, don't tell in spirit if not in policy anymore. Post-2011 repeal, things were better on paper, but old habits died hard in the barracks. James played it straight for the brass. Dating women sporadically, posting pics with cheerleaders at Padres games. I buried my feelings in freelance gigs and anonymous Grindr hookups, telling myself friendship was enough. Until it wasn't. The call came at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday in July, my phone buzzing like a grenade pin pulling. "Alex? It's me. Don't freak. But I fucked up." James's voice was ragged, laced with tequila and panic. He'd been at an off-base bar in Hillcrest, the gayborhood where we joked about dragging him out one night. A hookup, some Navy ensign named Tyler, had turned sloppy. They'd stumbled into an alley, lips locked, when a patrol from James's unit rolled by. Flashed lights, shouts, and suddenly James was staring down a misconduct report for indecent public behavior that reeked of homophobia. His CO, a grizzled major with a cross tattooed on his neck, wasn't buying the just buddies line. Whispers spread like sand in a windstorm. "Harlan's one of those. Career's toast." Discharge loomed, not for the kiss, but for conduct unbecoming. A catch-all that could strip his security clearance, his GI Bill dreams, everything he'd bled for in Afghanistan rotations. I drove to his barracks in a daze, the city lights blurring through my windshield. He looked wrecked, uniform rumpled, eyes red-rimmed, pacing the tiny room like a caged wolf. "They'll bury me, Alex. Tyler's denying everything, says I came on to him. If I fight it, it'll go to investigation," and boom, out with a dishonorable whiff. He collapsed onto the bunk, head in hands. All for one stupid night. I needed to feel something real after that last op. That's when the idea hit me, wild and desperate, born from too many rom-coms and a heart I'd guarded like contraband. "Marry me." The words hung there, absurd in the fluorescent hum. His head snapped up, brow furrowed. What? I swallowed, forcing a grin. Fake it. We say we've been together in secret, committed, stable. It explains the whatever. Shows you're not some reckless player. You're locked down. Brass loves family men. Gets you spousal benefits cred, maybe even a sympathy bump in the review. It was half-baked, pulled from articles I'd skimmed about military couples gaming the system post-Obergefell. But in my fevered brain it was salvation. A way to pull him from the fire, to claim a piece of him even if forged. James stared, then barked a laugh that died quick. You're serious? Alex, that's insane. We're not even... He stopped, eyes flicking to the door like ghosts might walk through. I can't ask that of you. Ruin your life for my screw-up. But I saw the spark, the calculation. By morning, he'd greenlit it. We filed the paperwork in a haze. A quickie courthouse wedding in downtown San Diego, witnessed by my roommate and a board clerk. No cake, no honeymoon, just a certificate that felt heavier than any dog tag. This is temporary, he said as we signed, his pen shaking. Just till the hearing. I nodded, ignoring the ache in my chest, the way his cologne lingered like a promise. Living the lie was a slow burn, intimate as a sniper's scope. He moved into my apartment for appearances. His sea bag dumped in the corner like an invasion. Mornings, I'd wake to him doing push-ups in the living room, sweat gleaming, grunting through reps while I brewed coffee strong enough to strip paint. We'd stage photos, him in dress blues, me in a button-down, arms around each other at Balboa Park, sunset gilding us like a lie made gold. Social media ate it up, proud to stand by my Marine. I'd caption, heart emoji hiding the truth. His platoon bought it hook, line. Major Ellis even slapped his back at a unit barbecue, muttering, settle down like that, Harlan? Good on ya. But pretense has a way of bleeding into reality drop by drop. Nights, we'd crash on the couch watching old westerns, his head on my shoulder, breath sinking like a shared pulse. One evening, after a brutal day of his remedial training, he cracked open. A bottle of Jack shared between us. You know why I enlisted? He murmured, staring at the TV's blue flicker. Dad walked out when I was 10. Said I was too soft. Figured the Corps would hammer me straight. His voice broke on the last word, and I turned, our faces close enough to taste the whiskey on his breath. You're the strongest guy I know, James. He held my gaze, thumb brushing my jaw, and for a heartbeat, the world narrowed to that touch. Then he pulled back, muttering, thanks, man, for all this. The almost kiss hung between us, a ghost we both pretended not to see. I fell harder with every staged smile, every honey dropped in public. I'd catch myself sketching him at my desk, his profile sharp as a K-bar knife, eyes like storm-tossed seas. Love isn't a choice. It's an ambush you walk into blind. He noticed, though, little things like how I'd linger in doorways, or the way my laugh turned brittle at mentions of Tyler, whose name I'd Googled in weak moments. You're too good for this charade, he'd say, deflecting with jokes. But doubt crept in like fog off the bay. Late calls he wouldn't explain, cologne that wasn't his clinging to shirts. I buried it, told myself it was paranoia. Until the texts. It was a Friday 2 weeks before the board hearing. I'd come home early from a client pitch, arms full of groceries for our anniversary takeout. Sushi from across the street, a nod to normalcy. His phone buzzed on the counter, screen lighting up. Missed you last night. When's Hubs out of town again? My stomach plummeted. Tyler. Not a one-off. An affair, reignited under my nose. I scrolled. Numb. Messages laced with heat. Plans for motel meets while I slaved over our facade. Need you to forget him. One read. Him. Me. James had been playing me from jump, using the marriage as cover not just for his career, but to keep chasing what he really wanted. Betrayal hit like a frag grenade, shards of trust exploding outward. I waited, seething, until he walked in, still in PT gear, whistling. Alex? What's... He froze at my face, the phone thrust like evidence in his chest. It's not. Save it, I snarled, voice foreign in my ears. Was any of it real? Or was I just the beard with benefits? He deflated, sinking to the floor, back against the fridge. I didn't mean. God. Alex, you're my best friend. This started before. Tyler's been pushing, and after the op, I was lost. Tears tracked his cheeks, but rage boiled mine. Lost? You let me build this life around a ghost. I love you, you idiot. Not the lie, the you. And you threw it away for alley scraps. He lunged up, grabbing my arms. I know. I see it now, how you look at me. But I can't. I'm not wired like that. Not for forever. The words gutted me deeper than any confession. Not gay. Bye? It didn't matter. The rejection did, sharp as bayonet steel. I wrenched free, storming out into the dusk, the door slamming like a final salute. The climax came that night on my balcony, the one overlooking the naval base where ships loomed like silent judges. Rain lashed in sheets, soaking my shirt as I chain-smoked menthols, the city a watercolor smear below. Headlights cut the storm. James's truck, tires squealing into the lot. He bounded up, drenched, eyes wild. Alex, wait. Don't sign the papers yet. He was babbling, words tumbling over thunder. The board's tomorrow. They bought it, the marriage, the stability. Ellis pulled strings. I'm clear. But that's not why I'm here. I laughed, bitter as the downpour. Then why? Another pity fuck for old times. He flinched, stepping closer, rain sheeting off his buzz cut. No, because I lied again. It's not Tyler, it's you. Has been since that bonfire. I pushed him away tonight, told him we're done. But you, pretending woke something, scared me shitless. His hands framed my face, cold thumbs tracing my scar. I betrayed you to hide from this, from us. Forgive me? Or at least, let me try real this time. Lightning cracked, illuminating his plea, raw and unguarded. My heart, that traitorous fool, cracked open wider. But love isn't blind obedience. It's the courage to demand truth. You almost cost me everything, I whispered, voice breaking. My dignity, my hope. If we do this, no more games. No hiding. He nodded, forehead to mine, rain mingling with salt. No more. I swear on my oath. We stood there, entangled in the deluge, as the storm raged on. A tempest mirroring the one inside. The board cleared him the next day. No discharge, just a slap on the wrist and a promotion whisper. We dissolved the fake marriage quietly, then rebuilt something honest. Dates at La Jolla Coves, his hand in mine without apology. My sketches now portraits of us, framed on walls that felt like home. It wasn't fairy tale perfect. PTSD nights where he'd wake shouting. My freelance droughts that tested us. But in the quiet hours, with his head on my chest and the ocean's roar outside, I knew. I'd lost my heart, yes. But in its place, we'd forged one unbreakable, scarred but whole. James deployed again 6 months later, to some dust-choked corner of the Middle East. I saw him off at Lindbergh Field, his duffel slung over one shoulder, my ring, real this time, glinting on his finger. Come back to me, I said, kissing him fierce amid the terminal bustle. He grinned, that old cocky flash. Always do, civilian. You're my anchor. As his gait swallowed him, I touched the matching band on my hand, the weight a promise etched in gold. War takes its toll, chews men up and spits out fragments. But love? It's the glue that pieces us back, humanistic in its stubborn refusal to let go. In America, where flags wave over fractured dreams, we'd found our patch of solid ground. And damn if it didn't feel like victory.